Today, the students of School of Journalism and Mass Communication have organized a discussion on the G20 summit where the students have represented member countries and have their own opinions and viewpoints about it.
Vasudev Kutumbakam, one world, one family. This was the motto of G20 summit, and today we all are gathered here to discuss the bilateral views on G20 agenda, as the motto was to focus and discuss on macroeconomic issues, sustainable development and various sectors like health, agriculture, and energy, environment, climate change and more. G20 initiative was taken to bring all the countries' leaders together and strengthen global ties and make the world more sustainable.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a pleasure to be here this afternoon with all of you on this beautiful, well-designed program by the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. My heartiest congratulations to the whole department. What a wonderful idea and what a correct time. This morning and last night only, I extended my heartiest thanks to Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and the complete Government of India for organizing one of the best, finest programs ever in New Delhi. So let's give a big hand to Government of India for creating such a powerful program. Vasudev Kutumbakam, a word which we have taken from our ancestors, from our inscripts, from our history, and this word we have spread through these 3 important days to the rest of the world. Last September, India was nominated as the presidency for G20, and it's almost now 10 months that we have been able to project ourselves to the rest of the world. The whole purpose of G20 is to bring in all the countries together of G20, and this time to show our capacity and capability of India, that what more we can do for the world and what world can do for India. And I think almost 200 events which were organized around the year, all of them were very successful, all of them were very well attended by the large number of countries, and the whole summit concluded yesterday or day before yesterday evening, whatever you want to say it. People are still there actually, and around 200,000 people were involved in day-to-day affairs for all these 200 events, and 19,000 delegates, VVIPs, flew down from all over the world to be part of this summit. I think we've never seen such a massive and a beautiful and a powerful event than this before, other than Commonwealth Games. So it was in 2010 when Commonwealth Games took place in New Delhi, and the whole country was going gaga that it is happening in New Delhi, and why not in our city. So we all in New Delhi are lucky enough, or in NCR region rather, to be a part of even 2010 Games. While talking to you now, I'm recollecting in 2010, we took a very rigorous participation into the Commonwealth Games when tenders were floated by the Government of India, and when they wanted to cover this whole Queen's Baton Relay by some media company. So large number of tenders were invited from all over India and abroad. So there was a last tender, when they opened the last envelope, the whole world got shock of their life, because the tender amount was 1 rupee. The coverage of the complete Queen's Baton Relay was 1 rupee by Marwa Studios. And I was not surprised, because my total aim was to win the game and to be a part of this beautiful, the biggest event of the so far in the country in last 75 years. Commonwealth Games I'm talking about, 10 exactly, 13 saal ho gaye. And we got the tender, and our job was to cover the Queen's Baton Relay from Wagah border, because the torch had to enter from the Wagah border from Pakistan, and from there our job was to cover the Queen's Baton from there to Nehru Place, but covering 28 states, 5 union territories, 20,000 kilometer, 900 cities, 300 events in 102 days. So Marva Studio covered the whole setup, and it was not me alone. I had students from School of Mass Communication and Journalism. Can you imagine that? My students from the same group 13 years back supported me to such an extent that we could create a world record. And that's a world record. No film, TV, media, art, culture, office, television setup, media company has ever done so much of work that covering from Wagah border to Nehru Stadium, 28 states, 5 union territories, 20,000 kilometer, 900 cities, 300 events, 10,000 pictures, 1,000 hours of filmmaking, 102 radio programs, 102 short films in 102 days. And that was remarkable. Marva Studio was a camp for Commonwealth Games, and we all were working like mad people, crazy, passionate, and we did it. And Government of India, they had to surrender before us, and they agreed that this is a world record and no one has ever covered so much single-handedly. We did it. I'm happy that this has been approved. Government of India honored us with a gold button, which is still lying in my room, and some certificates which proves that we have done the job. And then of course we sent it this entry to World Book of Records, and they also approved it, and that certificate is also probably lying right on the wall. When you go out, you can look at that certificate, which has been approved by the World Book of Records. Now, suddenly we thought, oh my God, another very important event after 13 years. We are watching this program of the same level, same stature, or more powerful rather. We made it a point that we should be part of this, and last September we joined hands with the G20 in a frame called C20, because there is a subdivision of G20 which is called Culture 20. That means anything and everything to do with the soft power, which includes films, television, media, art, culture, fashion, design, animation, graphics, hospitality, tourism, performing arts, and anything, environment, skill development, all these things which are part and parcel of soft power. And I'm very happy that all together, if I look back, we probably today we have alone have conducted more than 100 events which are part and parcel of G20 and C20. And I'm very happy that the Government of India is very happy, and I'm sure when we will be submitting report for all that what we have done during G20, probably the institution will definitely be appreciated by the most senior people in the Government of India on one side. I'm very happy the whole program went very well. All the heads of the states were here in the New Delhi, and we got a wonderful opportunity to be part and parcel of G20 again this time. Fortunately or unfortunately, this time the security was very high. Not even press was even allowed to enter into the final cabin, the auditorium which they created. Only members, delegate members, were allowed to be part of the discussion. Press was kept absolutely across the glass window, so that no disturbance, no hanky-panky, no stupid questions, and no illiteracy should be projected to the world leaders. And I think it's went very well. One of the finest buildings which has been created by Government of India in no time. And this building has already been rated as the first 10 best conference centers in the world. Can you imagine? I mean, every time when we are talking, every time when we are projecting, every time when we are ranking, India is now ranking in first 10 in any and everything. You know that we are number one when it comes to population. So how much we love each other, you can well imagine. So this is a country full of love. And we are number one when it comes to population, and we are fifth biggest economy of the world. And the Prime Minister has promised that we all will work very hard, all of us, you and me including, so that we can become the third biggest economy of the world, which is not far off. We were declared fifth when we were $3 trillion economy, and today we are 3.75 in a span of just 1 year. We have grown very big, and probably in 2 years' time we will be the third biggest economy of the world, and the whole world is looking at India right now. Wherever, whatever you say, India, the word called India is comfortably gets fit into it without any hesitation. Well, we're very proud because we are in art and culture. Like if you ask me, I'm in creative arts for 44 years, and I'm in Noida for almost 36 years, and I'm in studio business, Film City for 35 years, and studio business for 32 years, and education for 30 years. So we have almost given our life in promoting best of the relation possible India with large number of countries of the world. I'm happy when it comes to education, we have touched 145 countries. When it comes to film and culture tourism, we have touched 3 million people from 156 countries, and number is now they are abundant. When I talk to someone, the people get shocked. They say they're not even ready to believe. So it's very important to get yourself registered with World Book of Records for all our records, so that at least people should believe in us that what we are talking is truth, and we have done it in all these 30 years of our studio business and film, television and media business, and of course education. Well, this time in G20, let me tell you, keeping European Union aside, 19 countries, out of 19 countries, even before G20 announced the presidency for India, when it was only the presidency was with Indonesia, we had already signed agreement with 16 countries of the world. 16 countries, presidents or their representatives, they had already signed MOU with AAFT and Marva Studios through our Chamber of Commerce, which is called International Chamber of Media and Entertainment Industry, and they had bestowed upon us their not only love and affection, but the trust part on us, and we've been nominated as the cultural ambassadors for these countries. Today, I'm very happy in a span of 9 years, because Chamber is only 9 years old. In 9 years, we have been able to win the interest and the trust of more than 70 countries of the world. And when last month, when I wrote to World Book of Records about our achievement, I got a call yesterday, and I'm very happy that they have announced another award for all of us to be received day after tomorrow in London, and I will be honored in British Parliament once again, and will be receiving my world record for being ambassador for 70 countries. मेरे ख्याल से जिंदगी में किसी को एक एम्बेसडरशिप नहीं मिलती है, और यहाँ 70 मुल्कों के राष्ट्रपतियों ने हमारे अंदर एक ट्रस्ट देखा, और हमें 70 मुल्कों का कल्चर एम्बेसडर नियुक्त किया गया है। दुनिया में ऐसा अब तक कहीं नहीं हुआ, यानी कि करीब 850 करोड़ लोग इस दुनिया में रहता है, 770 करोड़ आदमी रहता है, लेकिन उसमें एक ही आदमी है जिसको इतना ट्रस्ट दिखाया गया। और आई ऑलवेज फील दैट वॉट एवर ऑनर्स एंड वॉट एवर presentations which I receive on behalf of AAFT, I receive on behalf of my organization, and I receive them on behalf of my students, because my students are the most important part of this institution. That's I always believe. I'm very happy that I will be receiving this award. But then when I'm going to receive this award on 14th in British Parliament, I will be creating another record, because then I will be the first Indian to be honored in British Parliament for the 6th time. God has been so kind. And trust me, not all presidents, not all prime ministers of the world, not union ministers or the member parliaments or any other creative people, they have even ever seen the parliament. Forget about being honored. They have not even seen the parliament. हमारे मंत्री, संतरी, तंत्री, प्रधानमंत्री, राष्ट्रपति ये ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट में नहीं बुलाए गए अभी तक। ये कितने मज़े की बात है। तो ये फ्रीडम होता है कि आप सरकार से बाहर रहकर भी सरकार से ज़्यादा काम कर सकते हो, इस बात को याद रखिए। इसका मूल मंत्र भी समझ लीजिए कि ये मूल मंत्र है जो मैं आपको भी देना चाहता हूँ, और आपको हमेशा ये बांध के अपने पास रख लेना चाहिए। जैसे आप ये मौली बांध के रखते हैं हमेशा, इसी तरह नहीं बांधी तो बांध लीजिए, उस पर लिख दीजिए कि भाग लेने से भाग्य बदलता है। इफ यू कीप ऑन पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन एनी एंड एवरीथिंग, trust me, you're bound to be successful in life. It is the easiest way to get success. और सबसे बड़ी कमी यह है कि कहीं किसी मकाम पर किसी पहाड़ी पे चढ़ोगे, किसी पहाड़ को तोड़ोगे, किसी नदी में कूदोगे, किसी समुद्र से गहरे समुद्र में उतर के हीरे निकाल के लाओगे, पता नहीं तब कोई अचीवमेंट गिनी जाएगी। लेकिन जो सबसे आसान, सरल और चालाक उपाय है जिंदगी में कामयाब होने का, कि हर जगह पहुंचने की कोशिश करिए, हर जगह पहुंचने की कोशिश करिए, खास तौर पे जहां बुलाया जाए। अगर आपको बुला लिया गया है, अगर आज क्लास आपकी सेट हो गई है, तो कोई बहाना मत करिए, गर्दन पकड़ लीजिए अपनी खुद की कि चलता है कि नहीं। क्योंकि कई ख्यालात आते हैं दिमाग के अंदर, फूट ले, खिसक ले, रहने दे, छोड़, या कल कर लेंगे, देख लेंगे, उससे पूछ लेंगे। बट गर्दन पकड़ लो अपनी कि चलता है कि नहीं चलता। और बिकॉज यू विल लर्न सो मच, इतना आप सीख जाएंगे कि हर जगह पे जिस भी मंच पर आप बैठेंगे वहां आपकी कामयाबी होगी, आपकी जय होगी। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री एक बड़ा सरल और साधारण एग्जाम्पल है कि कोई वो ऑक्सफोर्ड से नहीं, कोई हार्वर्ड से पढ़ के नहीं आए, हिंदुस्तान की आम एक सिंपल बीए कंप्लीट की थी उन्होंने, लेकिन क्योंकि उन्होंने हर इवेंट में भाग लिया हुआ है, हर फंक्शन में भाग लेते हैं, आज भी प्रधानमंत्री होने के बाद भी वो ना नहीं करते किसी को। लोग सोचते हैं कि वो हर जगह पहुंच जाते हैं, वो हर जगह इसलिए पहुंच जाते हैं क्योंकि उनकी विचारधारा और मेरी विचारधारा कहीं मिलती होगी कि भाग लेने से भाग्य बदलता है। तो हर जगह पहुंच जाते हैं जहां उन्हें बुलाया जाता है, वो राष्ट्रीय हो या अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हो। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये एक बहुत बड़ा उदाहरण, और आज का इस G20 का ही मैं तथ्य निकालने के लिए यहाँ तैयार बैठा हूँ, ये कहने के लिए कि इसका तथ्य यही है कि क्योंकि उन्होंने पूरी जिस दुनिया के देश से उनको बुलाया गया, उन्हें बोरी बिस्तरा बांधा और चल मेरे भाई। यहाँ तक हाल हो गया था कि जैसे ही पार्लियामेंट में अपनी सीट पे आके बैठते थे तो बेल्ट ढूंढते थे, वहां पे भी बेल्ट ढूंढते थे, वो सोचते थे अभी भी एयरक्राफ्ट में बैठा हूं। आप जोक नहीं समझे कि इतनी आदत हो जाती है जब घूमने की, तो उनको लगता है बेल्ट है, अच्छा बेल्ट कैसे मिलेगी आपको पार्लियामेंट की सीट पे। My dear friends, I'm very happy there's some preparations which are already being done, and I'm very anxious to listen to all those. Your deep involvement into G20. This event is probably, right now, probably you may be finding only 2 cameras, but there are over 30 channels who are ready to cover this program. There are over 100 newspapers who are ready to cover this program. Each and every word what we are uttering into this auditorium is very important for the nation right now. आज AAFT सिर्फ यही नहीं कि 27 मुल्कों में हम लोग केस स्टडी हैं, हम लोग न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में केस स्टडी हैं, और आज जो हम लोग यहाँ पर इस कैंपस में करते हैं उसकी आवाज़ पूरी दुनिया में जाती है। और आपको इसका रिजल्ट पहले इसी इवेंट से आपको कुछ ही दिनों में शायद नज़र आना शुरू हो जाएगा। I think for that, so far so good. With all these words, I bless you all. I'm very happy that you are participating wholeheartedly, and I'm anxiously waiting for you to speak few words. Thank you very much. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request our Executive Director, Academics, Professor Dr. Ajay Kumar, to please say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to pay my gratitude to Honorable President Sir, who rather asked me to conduct a discussion after completion of G20 by the Government of India. On 1st of this month, I had an opportunity to be with him and I was interacting with him. And he asked me, what's your plan for new batches as well as the batches who are coming? I said, sir, already we have worked on teaching learning enhancement plan and that will start. Then he asked me anything important which you are going to do. And I think, sir, our class is more important. Then he told me, for this country, is there any important thing other than G20? I said, no, sir, it's very important. Then he asked me, what have you planned? I said, nothing. Then first he stared at me, he cooled down, and then he said, I've got something to tell you, that be ready for each and everything which is being celebrated by the nation to make it a part of the academic activities of different schools. I said sorry. And then the entire plan was made for G20 discussions for which we are here today. First of all, I would like to tell you that the theme, all of you know that the theme of G20 remains Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. All of you must have heard about Maha-Upanishad. Maha-Upanishad के अध्याय 6 में 71वां मंत्र है अयं निजः परो वेदि गणना लघुचेत साम उदार चरितानांतु वसुधैव कुटुंबकम। अयं निजः परो वेदि, ये अपना है, ये पराया है। गणना लघुचेत साम, ये गिनती क्षुद्र व्यक्ति करते हैं, छोटे हृदय के व्यक्ति करते हैं। उदार चरितानांतु, जो उदार है, जो पूरे विश्व को देखता है, जो मानवता को देखता है, उनके लिए वसुधा, धरती को कहते हैं, धरती पे रहने वाले सभी जीव जंतु एक परिवार की तरह है। इस थीम को लिया गया G20 के लिए। मैं समझता हूं आप सभी को मालूम होगा कि भारतीय संसद के प्रवेश द्वार पर वसुधैव कुटुंबकम अंकित है। So you can very well understand the importance of this quote by Indian government led by Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. With this theme, G20 took place and it has been affirmed by all the leaders across the globe that it remained most successful meet of G20 ever. Now I would like to give you briefly a few points. That is Delhi declaration which was made at the end of the program, at the end of G20. First is, as leaders of G20, the premier global forum of international economic cooperation, government of India and the members of G20 resolved to act in concrete ways through partnership. And they committed to accelerate a strong, sustainable, balanced and inclusive growth, accelerate the full and effective implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, improve access to medical countermeasures and facilities, more supplies and production capacities in developing countries to prepare better for future health emergencies, promote resilient growth by urgently and effectively addressing debt vulnerabilities in developing countries. So these were 5 most important points among long several bilateral discussions and tie-up which government initiated. My dear students, I know that all of you are prepared and all of you are waiting to join the dais to speak specifically for the country which you have been assigned and which remained part of our G20. So looking forward to listen to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing insights with our students. Now I request our dignitaries to please release the G20 poster. Thank Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, all the dignitaries. Now it's time that our students are going to speak about the G20 countries, and I would like to call Rohan Sharma to speak about United States.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rohan Sharma, and I'm a student of School of Journalism, first semester. The whole country is delighted that India successfully hosted the 18th G20 summit on 9th and 10th September at New Delhi's iconic Bharat Mandapam. This was the first ever G20 summit being hosted by India. These top 20 countries, the leaders of present era, discussed important global issues such as climate change, loan framework to developing countries, etc. Today, I'll be talking about the economic, cultural, and political relations between India and United States of America. America, the world's third largest country in terms of size and nearly the third largest in terms of population too, that is of 33.9 crores. So firstly, let's talk about the cultural ties between India and United States. The United States is known for its diverse culture, with people from all over the world contributing to its rich tapestry. India shares a similar diversity, making cultural exchanges between the two nations vibrant and fruitful. Promoting cultural diplomacy such as film festivals and art exhibitions can strengthen our ties. Secondly, the economic interests. US has a robust economy as it is the world's largest economy, accounting for 25.4% alone. India is also experiencing economic growth with a burgeoning middle class and tech sector, which hints towards the massive growth that can occur with the help of collaborations between the two countries. Talking about the trade, the US and India share a significant trade relationship as in 2021, overall US and India bilateral trade in goods and services reached a record $157 billion. The United States and is India's largest trading partner and most important export market. The political ties are influenced by different national interests, such as the US and India have a strategic partnership driven by shared democratic values and geopolitical interests, as promoting global security, stability, investment, etc. Also, at the G20 summit, India and US signed a Memorandum of Understanding, a MOU that even Sandeep sir talked about, to establish the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor. President of the US, Joe Biden, called it a game-changing regional investment. In summary, the US and India share commonalities in culture, economic opportunities, and political interests. By fostering cultural exchanges, expanding economic ties, and enhancing political cooperation, both nations can strengthen their relationship for mutual benefit and contribute positively towards G20 summit's goals. That was it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Rohan. Next, I would like to call Khushi Awasthi, who will speak about Brazil. एक दूसरे से करते हैं प्यार हम, एक दूसरे के लिए बेकरार हम. In order to establish stable relations on the basis of mutual trust, it is also important for the countries to learn through a constant dialogue, that are the common interest of the countries and making concessions. Good afternoon, namaste. My name is Khushi Awasthi and I'm so grateful and thankful to get the opportunity to be the part of this discussion and represent the relations between India and Brazil. Starting up with Brazil, Brazil is the largest country in South and Latin America. It is the world's 5th largest country by area and 7th most populous as well. Through this, I may like to represent the relations between India and Brazil in terms of culture, economy, and politics. Culture. A cultural exchange program, that is CEP, for the year 2022 to 24 was signed during the state visit of Bolsonaro of India in January 2022. In Brazil, there is enormous interest in India's culture, religion, performing arts, and philosophy. The first classical Indian art form to come to Brazil was Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kathak, and Kuchipudi followed.
Brazil was a strong community of yoga and Ayurveda practitioners, and even today. In 2015, the first International Day of Yoga was celebrated in 12 major cities of Brazil. Coming up to the economic relations, Brazil has become one of the important trading partners of India in the entire LAC, that is, America and the Caribbean region. However, bilateral trade between the two countries stands at a dismal at $8 billion. In 2018, Indian investments in Brazil were around $6 billion, and Brazilian investments in India are estimated at $1 billion. Last but not the least, the political relations. Regular meetings between the leaders of both the countries, including summit levels, during various multilateral forums such as BRICS, IBSA, G5, etc., and the sidelines of other global for the cornerstones of India's bilateral relations with Brazil. Despite of this, a bilateral joint commission meeting, that is JCM, exists between India and Brazil, that is co-chaired by the foreign minister of both the countries. With this, I would like to end and ask permission to leave. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khushi. Now I would like to call Rishabh Chaudhary, who will speak about Russia.
Good afternoon to all of you. My name is ऋषभ चौधरी and my topic is Russia. 14 करोड़ 37 लाख की आबादी वाला रशिया विश्व का सबसे बड़ा देश है बाय लैंड विद सेकंड लार्जेस्ट सप्लायर ऑफ वेपन्स वर्ल्ड वाइड. इसी के साथ रशिया को क्रूड ऑयल और नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज का हब माना जाता है विद 11th लार्जेस्ट जीडीपी इन द वर्ल्ड. अगर मैं बात करूं भारत और रशिया के संबंध की, तो भारत की आज़ादी के बाद से ही रशिया और भारत के संबंध बहुत अच्छे देखने को मिले हैं. चाहे वो सोवियत संघ के साथ हो या सोवियत संघ के विघटन के बाद रशिया और भारत के संबंध हो. साल 1971 में जब भारत पाकिस्तान का युद्ध हुआ, जब वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज भारत के खिलाफ थी, तब रशिया एक अकेला देश था जिसने भारत की मदद करी और सबके कदम पीछे झुके. उसी के दौरान रशिया ने भारत के साथ एक डील साइन करी साल 1970 के दशक में, जिसमें रशिया ने भारत को आने वाले 20 सालों तक एक वेपन डील सप्लाई करने का सौदा किया, जिसमें दोनों के लिए फायदेमंद रहा. अगर मैं भारत के और रशिया के आर्थिक स्थिति संबंध के बारे में बात करूं, तो रशिया भारत के साथ कई मायनों में अच्छा रहा है, जिसमें रशिया ने भारत की आज़ादी के बाद ही अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी शेयर करी फॉर सेटअप बिग इंडस्ट्रीज इन इंडिया. इसी के दौरान रशिया की जानी मानी कंपनी ने भारतीय जानी मानी कंपनी टाटा के साथ एक डील साइन करी, जिसमें दोनों ने एनर्जी सेक्टर पर इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए अपनी राय जताई. उसी के दौरान मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा, रशिया हमेशा स्टैंड लेता है भारत का यूएन काउंसिल मीटिंग में. जब भी इंडिया पे मुद्दा उठाया जाता है उसकी नेबर कंट्रीज के साथ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स का. इसी के साथ साथ रशिया एक अहम भूमिका निभाता है बैलेंस मेंटेन करने में चाइना के साथ इंडिया के कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स के. मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि रशिया और भारत के इकोनॉमिक ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम में 3 गुना की बढ़ोतरी हुई है पिछले 25 सालों में, 1.27% से 3.54% तक. इसी के साथ मैं आपसे अलविदा लेता हूं और कहना चाहूँगा, द बॉन्ड ऑफ रशिया एंड इंडिया विल इंक्रीज मोर स्ट्रेंथन इन फ्यूचर. आई होप एंड यू होप. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, Rishabh. Next, I would like to call Ridhima Gupta to speak about United Kingdom.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I, Ridhima Gupta, would like to speak about some diverse aspects of the United Kingdom, a nation that holds a prominent place on the global stage. UK is one of the most projecting countries of the G20 summit. So let's begin with the political landscape of the United Kingdom. It is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary democracy. This means that while King Charles III serves as the symbolic head of the state, the real power lies within the elected officials in the UK Parliament. Currently, Rishi Sunak is serving as the Prime Minister of the UK, the first British Asian Prime Minister. The UK is a home to 4 different countries: England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, each having its own unique traditions and cultures. British literature has given us some of its very iconic authors like William Shakespeare, Jane Austen and Charles Dickens. And also British music has given us some legendary bands like the Queen, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Economically, the UK is one of the world's largest and the most developed economies. London, being its capital city, is a global financial hub, home to London Stock Exchange and many multinational companies. It has a diverse economy with sectors such as finance, manufacturing, technology, healthcare playing crucial roles. Economic ties between UK and India have strengthened in recent years. Both countries engage in trade and investment, with UK being one of the India's major trading partners, and UK and India have strong cultural ties also. Like the Indian culture, including music, dance, and cuisine, has a significant presence in the UK. The business video team updated that on 9 September 2023 at 8:33 p.m., UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi discussed the progress of the UK-India free trade deal and ways to strengthen their partnership. I would like to conclude by saying that the United Kingdom is a beautiful blend of history, culture, and natural beauty. It's a country that mixes old and new in a special way, making it one of the most amazing and important country in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Radhima. Next, I would like to call Arjun Sharma to speak about Germany.
भारत और जर्मनी के इकोनॉमिकली, पॉलिटिकली और कल्चरली रिलेशंस के बारे में बात करना चाहूँगा। भारत और जर्मनी की साझेदारी वैश्विक रूप से कई सालों से चली आ रही है। इस साझेदारी की नींव रखी थी हमारे पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने सन 1956 सन 1960 में हमारे पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी ने जर्मनी के 2 दौरे किए, जिसके बाद से दोनों देशों के बीच में कई बड़े समझौते हुए, जिससे हमारे दोनों देशों के बीच में रिश्ते भी बढ़े, दोस्ती भी बढ़ी और व्यापार भी बढ़ा। इसे प्रैक्टिकली बोला जाए तो एक स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप बोलते हैं, और अगर आम भाषा में बोला जाए तो दोस्ती। इस दोस्ती की गहराई तब बढ़ी जब सन 2000 में भारतीय सरकार ने और जर्मनी की सरकार ने IGC कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया। इससे हमारे व्यापार में भी बढ़ोतरी हुई और भारत ने इकोनॉमिकली मजबूत होना शुरू कर दिया था। बात की जाए पॉलिटिकल रिलेशनशिप्स की, तो भारत विश्व युद्ध 2 के बाद ऐसा पहला देश था जो नाजिज्म से पीड़ित जर्मनी को दोस्ती का हाथ बढ़ाया। इकोनॉमिकली रिलेशनशिप्स की बात की जाए तो जर्मनी भारत के लिए 7वां सबसे बड़ा FDI सोर्स है। FDI यानी फाइनेंशियली। अब तक दोनों देशों के बीच में 13 बिलियन US$ की डील हो चुकी है व्यापार में। कल्चरल रिलेशनशिप्स के विषय में अगर दोनों देशों के बारे में बोला जाए तो दोनों देश एक दूसरे से बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभावित हैं। जर्मनी भारत की भाषाओं में कुछ खास रुचि रखता है। इसी के चलते जर्मनी में सन 1818 में इन 1818 जर्मनी में बॉन यूनिवर्सिटी की स्थापना हुई, जिसका मेन विषय है संस्कृत। और भारत के लोग भी जर्मनी में 2 लाख से अधिक संख्या में हैं जिन्हें जर्मन भाषा आती है। यही कुछ कारण हैं जिनकी वजह से भारत और जर्मनी की दोस्ती बहुत मजबूत और पुरानी मानी जाती है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Arjun. Next, I would like to call Nandini Singh to speak about China.
The country whose relations to our country India dates back to the times of Mahabharata, from Book 6, Chapter 9, mentioned as the Chinas. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all here. Very good afternoon, Dr. Sandeep Marwa sir, Dr. Ajay Kumar, and Ms. Shikha Tyagi. All our teachers, staff members, and friends to take a keen part in today's program. Here I, Nandini Singh, stand before you all to give you a brief about the country who is very own to our very Indian culture, the country which is as family oriented as we Indians are. Let it be Emperor Ashoka to Tang dynasty, to Huan Sang, to Kashyapa Matang, to Buddha, to Confucius and whatnot. Yes, my friends, here I talk about the People's Republic of China. China and India, the 2 largest developing countries, are developing rapidly both inside themselves and within the international market. Between 2008 and 2021, China has been India's largest trading partner, and the 2 countries have also extended their strategic and military relations. And not to forget, India's pharma industry is heavily connected with China's pharma industry for bulk drug imports, with 43% of total pharma imports originating from China. And you will be surprised to know that China's GDP is actually now the largest in terms of purchasing power parity, that is triple P equivalence. And now what I'm going to add on next would interest you more, that Buddhism in China was not from the very starting. And here comes the Silk Road. It was not only a major trade route between China and India, but is also credited for facilitating the spread of Buddhism from India to East Asia during the 19th century. Now, if I put some limelight on political, geographical, and some matters of conflict, the main cause of the conflict was a dispute over sovereignty of widely separated Aksai Chin and Arunachal Pradesh border regions. Aksai Chin claimed by India to belong to Ladakh and by China to be a part of Xinjiang. Ladakh and by China contains an important road link that the Chinese region of Tibet and Xinjiang. The major news related to G20 2023 is the absence of the President Xi Jinping's in G20 summit, and this is closely tied to the internal political developments in China. And here, I sincerely appreciate your attention today to hearing me out, and it was a great opportunity speaking in front of you all. Xie xie, that is thank you in Chinese.
Thank you, Nandini. Next, I would like to call Sayantima Paul to speak about South Africa.
Until now, South Africa was a member of G20. But now, the entry of the African Union would provide greater voice to the global South within the G20, where the G7 countries have long played a dominant role. Hello everyone, my name is Shantama and I will be talking about the economic, political and cultural relationship between South Africa and India. So let's start with the economic relation. So India was the fourth largest importing partner and the fifth largest exports destination for South Africa in 2017 to 2018. South Africa is still India's largest trading partner in the sub-Saharan Africa after Nigeria. South Africa is the second largest economy of the African continent with a GDP of around 350 billion US dollars. Indian businesses has a large presence in South Africa with an investment of over 8 to 9 billion US dollars. South African companies have also invested in Indian companies. Leading among them are Sanlam, which is an insurance company, Life Healthcare, and a few more. Now, let's talk about the political relations between India and South Africa. A number of bilateral agreements were concluded between the two countries since the assumption of diplomatic relations in 1983. The year 2017 marked the 20th year of the Red Fort Declaration for strategic partnership between India and South Africa. Coming to the cultural relations, which I find very interesting personally, with the help of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, an intensive program of cultural exchanges is organized throughout South Africa. The Department of Arts and Culture sent cultural troops to India to participate in the International Dance and Music Festival held in 2016. The 9th World Hindi Conference was held in September 2012 at Johannesburg. International Yoga Day is also celebrated in South Africa on 21st of June. So this was some of the facts that I gathered about South Africa and India. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayantima. Now I would like to call Tanishq Upadhyay to speak about European Union.
The third largest economy of the world, second largest military of the world, an organization of most developed nation of Europe. Yes, I am talking about European Union. European Union is a supranational political and economic union. It is an international organization of 27 nations of Europe. European Union was founded on 1 November 1993 with signing a treaty arguably known as Maastricht Treaty, which stands for its own single flag, a national anthem, founding date, and a single currency, euro. It is also has some form of common foreign and security policies in dealing with other nations. The European Union has started to act more as like nation state. Let's move forward with the Indian relations with the European Union. India being amongst the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with the European Economic Community. India had signed many bilateral trade agreements with the European Union. The European Union is third largest trading partner of India, accounting for 88 billion euro worth of trade in goods in 2021. As the world's two largest democracies, European Union and India has shared a commitment to protect and promote human rights, sustainable development, open trade, and many more. Let us come back to the European Union and talk about its demography. As on 1 January 2023, the population of European Union is slightly over 448 million people, as the population is the real wealth of a country. Let's talk about geography. The member state of European Union has land borders with 23 other nations. It is estimated that coastline of continental European Union is about 66,000 kilometers long, bordering the Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, and Baltic Sea. European Union as an supranational organization has some economic, political, diplomatic, and military influences. Let's talk about economicals. European Union is the third largest economy in the world with the GDP of $17 trillion in 2022, next to that of United States of America and China. Its currency, the euro, can pose a real threat to the dominance of dollar as it holds a large percent of world trade. European Union as a supranational organization also have political and diplomatic influences. Like two members of European Union, Britain and France, hold permanent seats in the United Nations Security Council and including several non-permanent members in UNSC. European Union as a diplomat comment on different nations on global issues like human rights, environment degradations. Let's move forward towards the military. European Union combined armed forces are the second largest in the world. Its total spending on defense is second after USA, the United States of America. It is also the world's most important source of space and communication technology. Thank you so much. It was my honor and privilege to stand here and speak in front of you.
Thank you so much, Tanish. Next, I would like to call Yash Negi to speak about Turkey.
Good afternoon, everyone. I begin my address today extending my humble greetings of the day to the respected dignitaries, teachers, and everyone present here. My name is Yash Negi, and I am from the batch of BJMC and is the representative of Turkey. At the onset, I would express my gratitude to Mr. Nawaz sir for providing me with opportunity to voice my thoughts as the representative of Turkey, who has actively participated in the G20 summit. My nation, Turkey, also known as Turkey, occupies a unique geographic position in the world, lying partly in Asia and partly in Europe, makes it politically and economically powerful as well as a vital center of economic growth. With approximately 85 million of population and over $906 million of GDP, it is one of the strongest and most stable demographic country. Much like your nation, mine too is committed to secularism and democratic principles. India and Turkey's bilateral relations have generally been warm and cordial, which can be proved by Operation Those program, which majorly focused on helping earthquake-hit regions of Syria and Turkey. Talking about the cultural diversity, more than 9/10 of the population is inhabited by Muslim community, and in addition to it, there exists a small population of Jews and Christians, making it a secular country. We Turks are the tolerant and peace-loving people. Turkey plays a vital role in supporting a wide range of agriculture as well as manufacturing activities. About 1/3 of Turkey's land area is utilized by agricultural practices like sugarcane, cotton, potato, and tobacco, making it a significant country for agriculture. Foreign trades like aircrafts, mineral fuel, iron, and steel has played a tremendous role in accelerating Turkish economy since World War II. With about half of all trades with Europe and Germany being the main partner, Turkey is among the world's leading country in trade and economy. If any of you ever wish to visit our diverse and colorful country, be prepared to greet it with warmth, love, and affection like no other. On that note, I rest my address today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yash. Next, I would like to call Ishita Batra to speak about France.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today I stand before you all as the representative of France at this prestigious G20 summit. I, Ishita, would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to host country for organizing this event and providing us all with this valuable platform for international cooperation. So, starting with the demography of France and India, which differs significantly in terms of population per area, territorial size, growth rate, age distribution, and other demographic factors. India, which is the most populous country in the world with population of over 1.3 billion people. And France, on the other hand, has a population of around 67 million people. There are some of the key differences in the demography of France and India. It is important to note that these demographic factors have significant implications for various aspects of country's development, including its economy, social welfare, and healthcare system. Now, let me grab your attention towards the political scenario of France with respect to India. It involves diplomatic relation, collaboration, and engagement on various issues. There is education and culture. France has shown support for India's inclusion as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Overall, the political scenario between France and India is characterized by mutual respect and joint effort on various fronts. The economy of France with respect to India is characterized by trade, investment, and collaboration in various sectors. France is one of India's major trading partners in Europe. The bilateral trade between the two countries has been growing steadily, with sectors like automobiles, aerospace, and chemicals being the key contributors. French companies have made significant investments in India, especially in sectors like infrastructure, energy, and technology. Similarly, Indian companies have also invested in France, particularly in sectors like IT and renewable energy. So, concluding my speech with Indo-France relation, France had long-standing and strong relation with India. The two countries have shared history dating back to the colonial era when France had territories in India. Today, France is one of India's key strategic partners, and the relationship between the two countries is based on mutual trust and cooperation. France has been a major supplier of military equipment to India, and the two countries have conducted joint military exercises. So, overall, the relationship between France and India is characterized a shared commitment to democracy, human rights, and international peace and security. Feeling proud on the bonding of France and the host country, India. Now I rest my words. Thank you so much for listening patiently.
Thank you so much, Ishita. Next, I would like to call Diksha Chopra to speak about Australia.
Good afternoon. Here I am Diksha Chopra from BJMC Semester 1. So I am addressing Australia on behalf of G20 Summit. So I begin with the introduction of Australia. Australia, officially the Commonwealth of Australia, is a sovereign country and is situated on the island of Tasmania and also is the world's sixth largest country. Its total landmass is 76,92,024 per square kilometer and comprises of 6 states and 10 territories. Australian population is nearly 27 million and is highly dense and is situated on the eastern seaboard. So now I would like to address some economic relations between India and Australia. So, major exported items from India to Australia with amount and quantity are: first, India exported 5,440 commodities to Australia in FY21. India exported to Australia stood at US dollar 5.15 billion during 2022. Now, I would like to tell you economic relations between India and Australia. India-Australia economic relationship has grown significantly in recent years. India's growing economic profile and commercial relevance to the Australian economy is recognized both at the federal and state level in Australia. Now, political relations between India and Australia. In 2009, the relationship was upgraded to a strategic partnership. Both the countries cooperate in various multilateral forums. First, Australia supports India's candidature in an expanded UN Security Council. Also, both are members of the G20, Commonwealth, Asian Regional Forum, and also been cooperating as members of the 5 interesting parties in the WTO context. Also, Australia's current GDP as of 2023 is expected to reach 1687 USD billion by the end of the year. Now, I will tell cultural relations between India and Australia. Australia's cultural values and beliefs include respect for the freedom and dignity of the individual, freedom of speech, and commitment to the rule of law, which means that all the people are subjected to the law and should obey it. Also, cultural relations of India and Australia are the relationship between India and Australia is based on 3 key elements. First, cricket. Second, curry, referring to Indian cuisine, and the Commonwealth, referring to their shared membership in the Commonwealth of Nations. At last, the relation between Australia and India is going well and can be strengthened by improving economic sector and trade relations, and we hope this will always remain stronger as it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diksha. Next, I would like to call Daksh Rampal to speak about Indonesia.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. Respected all the teachers and Dr. Sandeep Mahava sir and Dr. Ajay Kumar sir. I am Daksh Rampal from BJMC first semester, and today I am here to present Indonesia, the nation, the Southeast Asia, Oceania between Indian and Pacific Ocean. As you all know, last year, the G20 Bali Summit in 2022 took place in Indonesia. India and Indonesia have 2 millennium of close cultural and commercial contacts. The Hindu, Buddhist, and lateral Muslim faith travel to Indonesia from the shores of India. The Indonesia folk art and dramas are based on the stories of great epic Mahabharata and Ramayana. The shared culture, colonial history, and part post-independence goals of political sovereignty, economic self-sufficiency, and independent foreign policy have unifying effects on the bilateral relations. There are around 1 lakh Indonesians of Indian in Greater Jakarta, Medan, and Badiang. They are mainly engaged in trade, dealing in textiles and sports goods. There are around 10,000 Indian nationals living in Indonesia, including engineers, consultants, CAs, and bankers, and other professionals. Bankers living to struggle against colonial powers, democratic traditions, culture, and progressive in leadership, which data country shares. The relationship between India and Indonesia is warm and cordial since the beginning, and we hope to maintain this relationship as it is forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daksh. Next, I would like to call Rishank to speak about Saudi Arabia.
A very good afternoon to all. This is Vishal Singh Rajput, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come on the dais. Since I am presenting as Saudi Arabia, the largest Arab country of the Middle East, and happy to have strong relations with our friendly country Saudi Arabia. Since Indo-Saudi relations with our friendly country Saudi Arabia, relation between the Republic of India and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. These two countries enjoy cordial and friendly relations reflecting the centuries of old economic and socio-cultural ties. The establishment of diplomatic relations in 1947 was followed by high levels of visits from the both sides. In addition to these relations between these two nations are generally very strong, close, especially in commercial interests. Saudi Arabia is India's second largest trade partner. During this period, India imports from Saudi Arabia reached $42.03 billion and exports to Saudi Arabia were worth $10.72 billion, registering an increase in 22.48% over last year. Besides this, the Indian diaspora in Saudi Arabia has played the role of bridge that connects cultural bonds between these two countries. Saudi Arabia and India share common needs in cultural, economic opportunities and political interests. Both nations are positively strengthen their relationship for mutual benefits and contribute positively to the G20 summit goals. So here I am binding up my words. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Roshan. Next, I would like to call Anshu Kumar to speak about Argentina.
Hello and good afternoon to all the respected professors, directors, all the delegates and all my dear colleagues. Today I, Anshu, is standing in front of you to address about the G20 summit, which was held on 9th and 10th of September 2023 in Delhi. Among these 20 countries, Argentina was also a part of it. So I am gonna share with you some information about it. Argentina is a vast country located in the southern part of the South America. It is the 8th largest country in the world and the 2nd largest country in the South America after Brazil. It has a natural border of 3,195 miles with Chile. The country is divided into 4 regions: the Andes, the North, the Pampas and the Patagonia. Now talking about the people and culture. Argentina has fewer native people and a large population which came from Europe. The population is comprised of 95% people of European, mostly from the Italy, Spain and Germany. The people are well educated and about 97% of the people are like that who can read and write. Argentina's culture and tradition are a unique blend of Latin American indigenous tradition and European custom. Argentina is a modern country with cosmopolitan urban areas, so most people dress similarly to others. You had seen in major cities across the globe. However, there are some traditional clothing items in Argentina culture, which makes it even more special. Now, moving towards the government and the economic aspect. The country is federal republic. There have been several democratically elected presidents after many years of political turmoil. After gaining its independence from Spain in 1816, Argentina endured alternating period of civilian and military rule before transforming to the civilian-led democracy in 1983. Argentina is the 3rd largest economy in the Latin America, behind Brazil and Mexico. Its major industries include automobiles, textiles, mining, technology, agriculture and tourism. Main economic activities are sheep herding, oil mining, agriculture and tourism that makes up this economy even more stronger. Lastly, but most crucial point, that is the relationship of India and Argentina. Several Indian companies such as Wipro, Tisco, Bajaj, Godrej, etc. operates in Argentina. They employ 700 Argentines as of the 2013 data. ONGC signed a MOU with Indasa for possible joint venture in Argentina for oil exploitation. Argentina companies operating in India include Impasa, Biocidus and Bago. Indian investment in the country totaled $930 million in 2013. Argentina investment in India totaled $120 million in 2013. So that was the major and broad outcomes from the India and Argentina relationship. Lastly, thanks to all of you for paying attention to this speech. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Anshu. Next, we have Priyanshu Kumar who will speak about Italy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Priyanshu Kumar, and today I have the pleasure of sharing with some insights of fascinating country of Europe, Italy. I will talk about the geographical condition, culture and economical and political relationship of India with Italy. First of all, I would like to show some limelight on the geographical factors of Italy. Italy, a country of Europe located in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea in the southern Europe, is bordered by France, Switzerland, Slovenia and Austria. It's a country of population near to 60 million people and is popular for its diverse geographical conditions like India. It is home to various mountain ranges and rivers as well. Now moving forward, I would like to talk on the cultural relations between India and Italy. Italy has a very rich and ancient culture like India. Together with Greece, it is considered as the birthplace of the Western culture. Both the nations, India and Italy, have signed an agreement for cultural cooperation in the year 1976, through which they held many events in both the nations for the cultural transformation. I would like to mention that many institutes and universities teaches Hindi and Sanskrit in Italy. Next, I would like to discuss about the economical relationship of India and Italy. Italy boasts one of the largest and most developed economies all over the world. It is considered as a global leader in the field of economy. Both the countries, India and Italy, have been involved in trade and commerce over the years. There was approximately a trade of 15 billion euros between both the nations in the year 2022. Notably, Italy is the 12th largest investor in India. Last but not least, I would like to discuss the political relationship between both the nations. Italy and India established diplomatic relationship in the year 1947, shortly after India gained independence from the British colonial rule. Italy is very good friend of India when it's come to geopolitics. Both the nations held bilateral talks every year to strengthen their political relationship. I would like to mention that India was one of the first countries to provide aid to Italy when it suffered a havoc during the COVID-19 starting phase. I will conclude my speech with the information that heads of both the nations participated in the bilateral talks as well during the 2023 G20 summit, where they discuss about the development in the sectors like economic and trade and also the upcoming technologies. They have decided to work together for the upcoming future and for global prosperity. Thank you everyone for hearing me out and giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Priyanshu. Next, I would like to call Sneha Madesha to speak about Canada.
Namaste everyone, my name is Sneha Madesha and I am from the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Today I am going to talk about Canada, which is also known as the Just Society and Mini Punjab for all the Indians. Canada is a country in North America and Justin Trudeau its 23rd Prime Minister and it is second largest country in the world. You must be thinking of China or maybe USA, but it's Canada. So how big we are talking? It's 9.98 million square kilometer. And just in case you have been wondering, Russia is the biggest. And if we talk about economy like India, it's a country of mixed economy with the world's 9th largest economy and its nominal GDP is 2.0892 USA dollar. Coming to its culture, like India, it's a multicultural country. There are a lot of famous Canadians like in the USA. For example, Justin Bieber, Jim Carrey, and even Drake. And this list could go on. Basically, there are a lot of people from Canada who influence its culture in the global level. There is more to language in Canada than English and French because of the immigration. Other language being spoken, like over 1.2 million people speak Chinese and over 5 lakh people speak Punjabi, then German, Italian, Tagalog, Spanish and many more. And if we talk about its Indo-Canadian relationship, then India was Canada's 10th largest trading partner. In Canada, India is represented by the High Commission, which is in Ottawa, and consulates in Toronto and Vancouver, while in India, Canada is represented by the High Commission of New Delhi and consulates in Bangalore, Mumbai and Chandigarh. Both the countries established their diplomatic relationship in 1947. If we talk about G20, Canada, Justin Trudeau weighs in on Khalistan movement and foreign interference and he said both the issues came up over the years with Prime Minister Modi. We have had many conversation on both those issues. Canada will always defend freedom of expression, freedom of conscience, and freedom of peaceful protest, and it is extremely important to us. At the same time, we are always there to prevent violence and to push against hatred. I think on the issue of the community, it is important to remember that the action of a few do not represent the entire community of Canada. The flip side of it, we also highlighted the importance of respecting the rule of law, and we did talk about foreign interference. So they do have some dispute in past, but now they have been working closely in multilateral fora to improvise their relationship, such as ICAO, UN, UNESCO, WTO, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sneha. Next, I would like to call Ishita Adhana to speak about Japan.
Japan, an island country in East Asia, which is the 11th most populous country in the world, as well as one of the most densely populated. And I think personally, we are all aware about Japan in some way or other. Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, I, Ishika Adhana from BJMC first year, stand in front of you all to make you all aware about some facts relating Japan and India. Firstly, cultural relations between India and Japan. Exchange between Japan and India is said to have begun in the 6th century while Buddhism was introduced to Japan. Indian culture filtered through Buddhism has had a great impact on Japanese people's sense of closeness to India. Economic relationships. In recent years, economic relationship between Japan and India have steadily deepened and expanded. The volume of trade between the two countries has also increased. India was the 18th largest trading partner for Japan, and Japan was the 13th largest trading partner for India in 2021. Trade relations. India and Japan enjoy a strong economic partnership marked by extensive trade, investments, and industrial collaboration. The bilateral trade between the countries for fiscal year 2019 and 20 totaled to 11.87 billion US dollars, which is a very big amount. Political relationship between the two countries. Japan and India signed a peace treaty and established a diplomatic relationship on 28 April 1952. This treaty was one of the first treaties Japan signed after World War II. Ever since the establishment of the diplomatic relationships, the two countries have enjoyed cordial relationship. In conclusion, I just want to say, India and Japan share a global vision of peace, stability, shared prosperity based on sustainable development, shared democratic values, and commitment to human rights. Pluralism, open society, and the rule of law underpin the global partnership between the countries, and I personally think that the countries can contribute for a G20 purpose and goals positively. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ishika. Next, I would like to call Mannat to speak about Mexico.
Buenas Straits. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I'm Mannat Bugra, and today I'm here to represent Mexico. Mexico, officially the United Mexican States, is a country in the southern portion of North America. Mexico covers over 19,72,550 kilometers square, making the world's 13th largest country by area with a population of 13 million. It is the 10th most populous country. Mexico have mixed market economy. It is the 14th largest in the world in nominal GDP terms. Mexican-Indian relationships or Indo-Mexican relations are the diplomatic relations between India and Mexico. Both nations are members of G20, major economies, and United Nations. India-Mexico relations have consistently been friendly, warm, and cordial, characterized by mutual understanding and growing bilateral trade and all-around cooperation. Some major bilateral agreements signed by both the countries are Cultural Agreement 1975, Educational Exchange Program 2005, Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty in Criminal Matters 2007, Air Services Agreement 2008. Both these countries have striking similarities and commonalities of geography, history, physiognomy, culture, and civilization, even of attitudes, mindsets, and values of people. Both countries are large emerging economies. Both are somewhat comparable levels of economic and technological development. If we talk about trade, in 2018, two-way trade between both nations amounted to 10 billion US dollars. India's main export to Mexico includes textile, gems, jewelry, leather, and software. Mexico's main export to India include petroleum machineries, fertilizers, and chemicals. Several Mexican multinational companies operate in India, such as Cinepolis, Gruma, Grupo, Bimbo, Kidzania, and Nemak. Approximately 174 Indian companies invest and operate in Mexico. Here, I would like to conclude by saying Spanish saying, Esperanza para lo mejor, that we'll hope for the best in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manna. Next, I would like to call Vagisha Kumud to speak about South Korea.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vagisha Kumud. Today, I am grateful to discuss the dynamic and multi-phased relationship between India and South Korea. Starting up with cultural relations, India and South Korea shares a rich tapestry of cultural exchange dating back centuries. The most prominent example of cultural connection is Buddhism. India's role as birthplace of Buddhism has led to a deep spiritual link between nations. Furthermore, Korean pop culture has gained immense popularity in India. K-dramas, K-pop music, and Korean cuisine have all found devoted fan base in India, further cementing the cultural between the two countries. Coming up with political relations, India and South Korea share common values such as democracy, a commitment to maintain peace and stability in the region. Both nations have strong supporters of each other's for international forums, reflecting their shared vision for a better world. At last, I would like to discuss about economic relations. In recent years, economic tie between the region and nations have flourished. Both countries have recognized the potential for business collaborations in various sectors. Companies' role in promoting trades investment between two countries is spectacular. Concluding with the relationship between India and South Korea is shining example of how nations can strengthen bond through the same. As we continue to witness the deepening of this relationship, it is evident that India and South Korea are not just two countries. They are partners in progress, working together to create better future for their people, for the world at large. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, students, to sharing the knowledge and relationship between the countries. Now I request Sandeep sir to please address the students.
Thank you, ma'am. What a pleasure to listen to all of you. Let's give a big hand to all the participants. India is missing. Well, what I've just come to know, the participant is not feeling well. Fine, it's okay. We know about India much than what we know. I mean, the best part is that even I have learned few more things on your preparing on your country. So this is what knowledge is all about. You gain every day something new or other if you're a good listener in life. I'm very happy when you've been talking about these countries. I was recollecting where all I have been and where all students have been. I mean, the students of AAFT, especially the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, they've been to South Korea, they've been to Japan, they've been to UAE, they've been to South Korea, they've been to USA, UK, and probably a few more countries. I'm quite well traveled, and when the minute you put a name, I suddenly start recollecting my relation with this country, and you can write chapter on every country where we are dealing with, especially all these 20 countries right now. And I can just give you one small homework. It's a fun, not that you have to take it seriously, but if you really want to see our involvement with any country, please go back and look at, surf on Google, put AFT, Sandeep Marva Studios, and put the name of the country. You will find few cuttings where our involvement with that country. Somewhere or other you will find there will be something or other in relation to that country. I'm happy that we have touched large number of countries and we're dealing with large number of countries. Why I'm telling you all this? Because please do not ignore these very serious programs, because you never know, something new is still coming. And I keep on getting invitations from all these important countries of the world, and there are times when we have even tickets available for students to fly to these countries. Very rare it is, but then we're also planning some foreign trips from this institution. If you can be part of those trips, internal and of course external, there'll be some trips which will be moving to different states, and there'll be some trips will be moving to different countries. So you can start preparing yourself for these foreign trips also. You will get some wonderful opportunity to visit abroad during your educational days.
Good afternoon. I take this opportunity to thank Honorable President Dr. Sandeep Mahava sir for giving this wonderful opportunity to our students. It's a matter of pride for us as our students could represent the G20 countries and share the socio-economic and political aspects of those countries and their relationship with India. Sir, you've always been a brand ambassador of spreading love, peace and unity through art and culture. I'm sure that India will continue to strengthen its relationship with the rest of the world. Thank you to our dear students for presenting so well, and I'm so proud of you for your thorough research and the way you presented yourself today. Thank you to all the teachers and the participants for joining and for making this G20 event a successful one. Thank you everybody for your gracious presence. Thank you.